What's up everybody and welcome to today's video. In this video it's going to be a little bit different to how we normally set things up because you would normally see me here with a range of different things in the background. But we got one of the best Lego hauls that I believe I've ever got. And I'm really excited to sharing it with you. We've just spent the last hour or so filming, sorting through it, basically pulling out as many minifigures as we could because the haul is massive. Probably about 8, 9, maybe even 10 kilograms of absolute quality. Let's get into it.
So this is the haul here, and we've got the large container at the bottom, and the bag was actually given to us for free. And in the small box, there was this first bag of minifigures, and this was why I wanted to buy it. I could see animals, I could see a couple of high-priced figures, which we'll show a bit later. It looked great. And in the bag, this was literally given to us free by the lady as an extra, all those instructions, so many different sets. And as we started sorting through the bulk, I started noticing a few more. So this is definitely not all of the instructions that the sets came with, but to have so many was fantastic anyway. A couple of Star Wars sets in there, and the Elvis one you saw before. This is the container. The minifigures in this is insane. So many, such a range. Looking forward to get into it. So here's cup one. Let's get started sorting through it. So first off, we've got this net string, 10 by 10, in pretty good condition. Some of you are already spying one of my favourites in the cup. The sharks weren't too bad actually, a couple of dollars each of those. We've got Nova here from an Ultimate Spider-Man set all the way back in 2013. And the interesting thing about all of these minifigures is just the quality that they're in. There was only a couple of cracks across what must seem over 100 minifigures. And the range was really cool as well. A few different animal pieces to start with. This alligator / crocodile, $2.91 New Zealand. Already up to $30 after those 5. And we've got Electro again from a similar sort of range. So seeing that early in the picking of some of this bulk was really exciting. 10-year-old sets in great condition. Here's one of the big boys. Doctor Doom, $40. Released all the way back in 2013. Cape looks a little bit faded potentially, but in great condition. Minifigure looks, hasn't even been touched. That was an awesome pickup. One of my favorites, this might not make it to the Bricklink store, but the Green Goblin from, again, a similar set in pretty good condition. I think he'll go nicely along my Sandy that I picked up in China, so we'll see if he makes it into the store. I've got a J. Jonah Jameson from 2013 as well, and this one was $8.51 New Zealand for the average. And while this is the average for Bricklink here in New Zealand, it doesn't take into account the fact that a lot of these minifigures actually do not show up. Iron Spider Bony Appendages, $26.82 from a set only 9 years ago. I mean, I say only, but that is just amazing, an amazing find. Already up to $134. Again, some of these Spider-Man ones were just amazing from the start. Dr. Octopus, $17.50, and we've already hit $150 worth of minifigures, and we're halfway through the first cup. Looking good so far. Power Man, pretty cool looking figure. $10.29, released all the way back in 2014 in an Ultimate Spider-Man set. And another Venom. I recently sold a very similar one as well, so $4.81, pretty solid. Released all the way back in 2014 as well. Some of you are spying that horse as well at the bottom. This Beetle was $10.70 for the average. Someone paid $30 for a new one in the last 6 months as well, so obviously they really wanted that one. The couple of animal parts, as I mentioned, and things like this owl, while you might be looking through a bulk used lot and not thinking much of them. A couple of dollars for each little animal, and you can start building up a real big one. This was one of the best animal pieces we found. Horse with movable legs, and in really, really good condition. The saddle's coming out very shortly, and that was $8.81. We've got a Series 7 minifigure without the medal, but I just picked up a couple of medals, obviously, with the new release of Series 25. Released all the way back in 2012. So again, seeing figures in there from 12 years ago, I was looking quite happy. Sandman here, $8.66, and we've just cracked the $200 mark. Rhino released all the way back in 2015, $5.89. And this early cup seemed to be a lot of Spider-Man sets, but as we get on through some of the later hauls, you'll see that start to change quite a bit. $6.87 for this Spider-Man, black web pattern with red boots. That may end up going to my wee one and not make it into the Bricklink store. But hey, we never know. She does take priority, unfortunately. Nick Fury here, $4.22, again from a set released in 2013. One of the Ultimate Spider-Man sets as well. Then we get down to the saddle. Again, you might get a saddle in a bulk lot, not think much of it, but $3.17 is the average, and somebody's paid $14 for it over the last 6 months, so we might need to price check that one a bit further. A couple of these kind of husky little animals, $2.06 each, and there were 3 of them, and I actually found a 4th one when we're doing a later sort as well, which is quite good. So we'll have to see what set that is out of. Didn't quite pay too much attention when I was sorting through them, but could be a couple more potentially in there as well. And this German Shepherd, while I was thinking it was a slightly different one for a bit more, it was 70 cents. And the Grim being 82 cents. So that might actually go back into a set if we can find sort of a Harry Potter one within that and sell that as the set rather than the individual part. This was a cool find that literally dropped out as we picked it up. $5.60 for this shield. I do need to double check a little bit though because I couldn't find any Lego logo on it, but it does seem pretty accurate to the design, so we might do a double check of that or put something in the comments. And there we have it, first cup.
It's worth noting at this point that we've actually done 1 cup of minifigures so far, and that was from the smaller box that you saw. We've still got the bag to go, which has some amazing finds, and the larger box has, I reckon, upwards of about 80 minifigures. So we might be here for a while. But as you hear, why don't you drop a comment down below, let us know what you've liked so far, or maybe as it comes up, and make sure you subscribe to the channel as we bring you more content just like this.
And this Lego haul just keep getting better and better. Those dinosaurs you see on the top were in the bag that was given to us sort of for free. It wasn't actually included in the original item that we purchased, and you can see why my eyes lit up when I saw it. $15 for the first one. Don't worry about the colors on the left hand side, it's just sort of the overlay that I was using. But this one is $19.22, and just from Jurassic sets about 5 years ago. Potentially the coolest looking minifigure of the lot. I don't think this is going anywhere near the store. I think I'm just going to keep it. I mean, the accessories on it look cool. The design's awesome from a Ninjago set. A couple of the minifigures we were finding without certain parts. So obviously this Garmadon without the hat is, might not take that value up too much, but it will be something that we can look at as we sort through it. And Nails here from a 2018 Ninjago set for $4.26. Again, we're up to $286 already, and just minifigures. So stick around, and you're going to see some amazing finds later on in the video. Vic Hoskins here, $4.78. There seem to be quite a few Jurassic sets throughout the bulk lot, so I'm interested to see what kind of parts we've got. Wu Sensei, always a favorite, and we found one of the hats right after I uploaded this part of the video. And a Lloyd from a 2018 set on the Sons of Garmadon as well. And $6.39 was actually quite a good price for some of the Ninjago minifigures. Shark Army Thug. Cool little minifigure there with the eye patch. I feel like that could be one that we could actually part out for the mock. Didn't actually make it into the video because it had a crack. And this Clone Trooper I am on the lookout for because it is $13.38, but we couldn't find the head. So we skipped a couple because there were a couple of cracks in these lots, but the Batman, fairly good condition, bit of fluff on the cape, which I'm sure we can get rid of, $4.12, and we're up over the $300 mark now. Somehow Obi-Wan had a Ninjago hat on, so we'll keep an eye out for his here, because if it does finish off this, it will be $10.57. I did notice a bit of wear on the head, so that might have been why we didn't add that to the total. Skullbreaker here as well, $4.86. Then we had a couple of sort of minifigure heads, and later on in the video you'll see one without it. But things like that, you can really be building up quite a large lot. Again, this one for the Alien Pilot, the minifigure is $3.80, but sometimes the heads can actually be selling for $2 or $3. And you just got to be double checking the part out of the actual minifigure. We found a heap of these little tiny dinosaurs in there as well. This one was $5. And then we had another one which was more of a dark green stripes. And if we get it nicely, there we go. That was $2.73. Probably about 2 or 3 more in the later videos or parts of the video. So that's 2 cups down and we're $340 in. Looking good so far. So if you are looking through a bulk used lot, I would prioritize minifigure parts. They're small, they don't take up much storage. This Bowmaster Soul Archer, $6.10. So they're not taking up a lot of your storage space. So if you are a Bricklink owner, store owner, or you're reselling Lego, this is where you need to start with your sort. And we're going to be releasing a video in a week or so looking at our process for sorting through used Lego. And you can see by pulling out minifigures, quickly identifying them, you can build up quite a large total of resale value, and it's quick and easy to get back into the store, and then you can be looking through the bulk parts. This Misako from the Lego Ninjago movie, while it's $12.28, it was missing the hairpiece, but thankfully I found it later on, and so that is all together and will be going into the store. Fred Finley as well from the Lego Ninjago movie back in 2018. So yeah, as I was saying, in terms of the process that we go through, again, a Jawa, one of my favorites, from a Star Wars set that might make it into the store. Always seems to be the case. If you're a Bricklink seller, whether you keep them or make it into the store. Commander Ragmonk, cool looking minifigure there, with some cool little helmets and features, $7.80. But if you are sorting through a bulk used lot, let me know in the comments what sort of process you follow. Be interested to chat with a few people about the different processes. I know there's many different ideas on YouTube on how to go about it, but I think the system that we've got seems to be working quite well at the moment. We're getting things into the store quickly. We're upping that lot count. We're adding a lot of really cool minifigures, and to be honest, the minifigures seem to be flying out the door. Just this weekend, we've had about $300 of orders, and the majority of them have been minifigures. And that's something to consider as a Bricklink owner. The time it takes to pick your orders, you know, you could be getting a $50 order, but there's 500 parts in it. Whereas if they're made up of minifigures, it's a quick pick. Then you're moving on to something else and uploading that to the store. Vermin missing the helmet, but I think that was from the earlier one that we noticed. And look at this, we're already up over $420 of value. Ken Wheatley from another Jurassic World set as well for $3.64. As we were digging through these, the more Star Wars I saw, the better. The only issue with this astromech, there was a little bit of playware. So this may be one that we put on TradeMe. Just seems to sell a bit better. People aren't too worried about the playware on there, whereas often with Bricklink orders, people are expecting some good quality without playware, which is obviously fair enough. And it's a bit easier to describe in a TradeMe or an eBay auction. You can show that playware a bit better. Often people, I think, just try and avoid any sort of Bricklink items that have comments on them saying that there's playware. Quite a cool looking figure here, Dr. Phosphorus from the Lego Batman movie, released all the way back in 2018. Might think of making a little army of those, they look quite nice. We've got a Rebel Trooper here with potentially Obi-Wan's hair, actually, now that I look at it. And we'll need to find that little hat because that was some good value for that one there. We did seem to have a good range of Lego Ninjago minifigures as well. I didn't see too many double ups, which was quite nice. Daddy No Legs Just missing the little top, but for $8.70, that's a cool little minifigure, which will go nicely into the store. We got a Resistance Trooper here from one of the Star Wars sets. I think that was in the instructions. And there are a couple more later on in the videos. And another Resistance Officer, potentially. I think this is actually from the same set. Released back in 2016. Crusher from the Lego Ninjago movie for $6.48. Again, you can see this adding up just very slowly but with the minifigures, but $500 already, and we've gone through 2.5 cups worth of minifigures. So stick around to the end of the video as we reveal the final total and show you what was left over, because what was left is amazing. Cool little handbag accessory here, and we did find this here again just a couple of minutes after filming the part out. It did seem like we had the 2018 Star Wars Advent Calendar as well, and some of the little figures from there were actually quite good value. We had the IG-88 and then a Battle Droid here. Potentially, I think that was from the same set, and a couple more Star Wars figures in there as well. Seeing things like Simpsons series collectibles and things like that just tells me that there was a lot more in there than what the instructions showed. And every time you're looking through a bulk lot, the second you start seeing things like Lego series minifigures, like collectible lines that are outside what the instructions look like, you know you're in for some good money. And also potentially some nice ones to add to your own collection as well. Chew Toy here, great name. Just missing the helmet, which I think I've got a couple of in store, so that could be one to add on. And one thing you can consider as well as a Bricklink store owner, if you are sorting through this minifigure lot, what kind of things do you have in store? This Hulk, beautiful, $23.94. Thank you very much. But what do you have in stock? Have you got that helmet, like I mentioned, that you can just add on to a minifigure? It hasn't sold. It might only be 20 or 30 cents, but then you're making a full minifigure that you can upload to your store for another $5. So those are the kinds of things you need to be thinking about. And I like to also keep a sort of tub of unfinished minifigures to the side, so that if I do find any pieces I can add to, or I can make a wish list on Bricklink to finish those minifigures and sell them as the complete set. Here we're getting into the big hitters. Almost a $40 Scarif Stormtrooper from a 2016 set. And that set, once I saw that one, that was in one of the photos on the auction that I purchased, I knew we were in for some good money, because that set itself parts out for about $200 used, even though it's quite a small set. So looking forward to seeing what some of the pieces are as well. And we've got a couple more coming up. Spitter that you saw early on. Again, that might go to my daughter. She seems to like these little snake figures, which is quite a cool looking design as well. And Skip Vicious from, again, some Sons of Garmadon sets, released back in 2018. And we're up over $635 now already. Again, some more Jurassic World sets in here, which means there could be some more dinosaurs. Here are some more beautiful Star Wars ones. Biggs Darkslider. What a character. What a man. $26 for that one, which means, of course, if we've got the X-Wing ones in there, we've got Luke Skywalker. $31.46 for a single minifigure. And you can see for a bulk lot like this, the second you start finding slightly rarer ones, how quickly that value jumps up. We're now up over $700. Lovely, lovely camera. Looks kind of like me, to be honest. That could be a sig fig in the making. We've got another Kai Skybound with a gold scabbard here from a Ninjago set back in 2016. And probably one of the coolest weapons I'd seen. Slackjaw with that similar helmet that we mentioned from the Hands of Time to 2017 set. Again, some more Star Wars ones coming through with a TIE Fighter pilot. I was a bit worried about the helmet and the face underneath, so I had to have a quick check. But that is looking in fantastic condition. And again, you're seeing with all of these, they're looking in such good condition. There's no real dust on them. There's no cracks on the arms. The faces haven't even got any play wear. So the second you start seeing that in a bulk lot and they're 8 or 9 year old figures, either they haven't been touched or they've been on display really, really well. And the more that things have been kept sort of on display or or stored well, the better the rest of the parts in the set will be. The less likely you're going to have sun damage or discoloration or anything like that. Firefly, $18.09, and look at the accessories on that. That's without any of those accessories. So really cool find of that one from one of the DC sets. And we got Danny Niedermeyer as well from Jurassic World, $12.50 for a used minifigure, even though it's in fantastic condition. A few more Ninjago ones coming in here. And again, we're up over $750. So I was just enjoying the ride, sorting through these. To be honest, when I was sorting through initially, I didn't really think too much of some of the figures. But you'd be amazed to see what you've got in your collection. So if you've got some old minifigures lying around at home, maybe you're watching this video and just sort of wondering what figures are worth, grab on a phone out, and we're using two different apps to identify these figures. We're using an app called Brick Monkey, so BRICK Monkey, and the other one to use is Brickignise, which is a bit more common. I like using Brick Monkey a little bit better, although it can be a little bit less unreliable for choosing the figure, as it's quite quick to click through things. And sometimes you might only get a torso, or you might have a mixed up minifigure, and so it's important to be able to identify which torso belongs to which figure. And sometimes, a torso with a different head can be $3 or $4 more as a figure. So if you're a Bricklink owner as well, those are things to consider. Again, another Jawa here from a Star Wars set. But, consider the fact that actually that torso with a different head could be a lot more valuable figure to add to your store as well. The other thing that you'll see in the circle that highlights the average price is the number of times that particular item is sold in the last 6 months. And that's another one to consider. While it might have a higher price, you do need to consider how many times it's actually being sold. And if it's got a low sell-through rate, then again, you might need to consider your pricing for some of those as well. Now that heavy metal faith there missing the hair, but I'm sure it's something we could find. And another Joker from one of the sets there. The Firefly and Joker made me think that there were some more DC sets, but the more we looked, the less we could find, which was a shame because the DC set with Firefly had a range of quite nice and rare figures, but could not find any yet. So hopefully those do show up as we sort through some of the larger bulk. And we're up to almost $850 worth of just minifigures from this bulk lot. And you saw how many pieces there were. This was a great find, this Ninjago mask, part of a minifigure. Couldn't find the rest of the figure, but just the mask itself, just over $9. And again, some Lego Elf sets. There's a little bit of a dragon in there as well. I don't think it's fully complete, but that will be interesting to see how much it is for parts. And finishing off with Zane from the Lego movie. Something else to identify as you're going through sets is bulkier pieces like these rock panels here. So the Merps, $3.67 each, as well as this one here, taking us up to a grand total of $871.68. But we couldn't leave it so close to the 1,000 mark, could we? So we found some more, and this is $131, bringing our grand total to...
So after all of that sorting, we've still got about 6 kgs of bulk. All of these pieces of minifigures to go. That huge bag, which is about a kg. That bag. Another one. And some plates down the bottom. Plus some more loose parts and things in this one.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you check out our recent visit to China and have a look at the Lego haul we got there.